it's been a fun watch, certainly with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback and this coach making all the calls along with Joe Brady and everybody else there behind his visor. Joining us back here on the Rich Eisen Show, the head coach of the 3-2 Carolina Panthers, Matt Rhule. How are you, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm better for talking to you. I mean, what an interesting 3-week stretch it has been for you. What did you say to your team 0-2 with Christian McCaffrey on the shelf? What was the scene like for that, Coach, at the time?
Well, I think we went out and played Tampa Bay, and we had 4 turnovers and still had a chance to win the game. It was down 7 in the fourth quarter, and I think our message to everybody was like, hey, let's all stop talking about, hey, we're close, and hey, if we just do this and just do that, let's start doing it. And I thought that was a week where our team really just, everyone took a little bit more onus on their own shoulders. We went out to the Chargers. We played without KK Short. We played without Russell Okung. We played without Christian. But what we found out was a lot of guys on our team could step up. And so they've done that for the last 3 weeks, and it's been fun to be a part of it with them.
Now, in terms of stepping up, is this what you envisioned from Teddy Bridgewater when you went in that direction, parting ways with Cam, who you've seen, I'm sure, perform in New England the way that he has prior to his COVID positive diagnosis? But is this what you envisioned when you went towards Teddy Bridgewater, Coach?
Yeah, we had a tremendous feeling that, like, hey, he would be a great fit for this system. We asked the quarterback to obviously to be accurate, to get the ball out quickly, but to get through progressions, to make all these checks, to get us in the right play. And we had seen Teddy do that in his 5-game stretch last year in a very similar system, and just felt like, hey, if he gets the chance with us and he's given the reins, that he can take this to another level. And I think he's completing 73% of his passes. He's doing a great job protecting the ball, and most importantly, he's the guy that the guys listen to. I mean, they respect him, and he's got our team going in the right direction.
Now, that said, though, the move that he put on, getting into the end zone, I believe it was a couple weeks ago against Arizona. Was that what you're expecting too? You expected a move like that?
No, not at all. Not at all. He actually, we had struggled in the red zone the week before, and he kept saying, give me some quarterback runs, and we were kind of laughing, saying, that Lamar Jackson from Louisville, not Teddy from Louisville. It's not you, but he made it happen, and that's just who he is, right? He's a winner. He finds a way to get things done, and I think the biggest thing I can say about Teddy Bridgewater is the way his teammates reacted and celebrated with him. I mean, they're 100% in it with him.
No doubt. Did he say something? Did he say something to you though after he did get in the end zone with that beautiful maneuver?
He says something to me all the time. He's got something to say all the time. He's a fun guy to be around, and he makes sure I know that he can run the football too.
I'm sure he does. Speaking of running the football, what's Christian McCaffrey's status as you and I are talking right now, Coach Rhule?
We hope to have him back soon. I mean, he's getting some tests today to see how far his progress has come, and I think Christian's such a team guy. He's such a elite player. He's such a worker that I've told him, hey, you're not coming back until you're 100%, until the doctors all sign off, until the trainers all sign off, until you feel good. So he's fighting to come back. So we hope it'll be soon, but we're going to be very, very, very smart in terms of getting all the right tests to make sure he's 100% healed.
Well, certainly Mike Davis has been dynamic in the role of, I guess, if you will, lead back when McCaffrey returns. And I must admit, there is a fantasy football element in this involving the person asking the question right now, Coach. Is Mike Davis going to have more of a significant role than any number 2 back behind McCaffrey has had in previous years?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think so. I think there's, Joe's really creative, and he and his staff do a great job of finding guys' strengths and utilizing them. And so even before Christian got hurt, we knew that Mike deserved a chance to play and that he could bring something to the table. And so I think using both of them, using them at different times, using them together, those are all things that would help us. And I think Mike's shown everybody that when given a chance, he can play football at a really high level. That he certainly did yesterday.
Well, again, you're the coach, and you've gotten this position because of your ability to coach. But I think that would be very smart of you. I think it would be very wise to give Mike Davis his touches. I think he's a guy that can maybe get in the end zone for you, Coach.
Is Is he on your team?
Yes, he is, by the way. Yes, he is. And just so you understand, this is not my first rodeo doing this with an NFL head coach. When Sean Payton frequently turned down Alvin Kamara's chances from the 2-yard line, I actually taught him what the term vulture meant in fantasy football. He didn't even know what that meant. So
that's awesome.
I'm just throwing that out there just for you to consider that, But, hey, look, it's an embarrassment of riches, and things are going so well for you on offense as well. Robbie Anderson has been particularly coming on strong. The rest of your offense, have you reached your stride? Is this what we're seeing right now? Is the you bringing Joe Brady in from LSU and you coming from Baylor? Are we seeing this right now develop, Coach, right now?
Well, I mean, I hope we're certainly better than we were week one, so I hope we'll keep getting better and better. But like you mentioned, some, we have Robbie's playing really good football. Teddy's playing really good football. Mike Davis is, and DJ Moore, every game makes a huge play. Curtis Samuel is a kind of a do-it-all guy. So I think we have really good players, and they're playing well. And Joe does a great job of being creative, finding different ways to get guys the ball. It's fun to be a part of, and I'm certainly learning a lot as we go through this. But I always believe that players win games, and they're making the plays it takes to win.
So, when you said learning, what in the first 5 games of being an NFL head coach is something that you're like, okay, I get it, or it's something that I need to make sure that doesn't happen again from week 2, et cetera, so on and so forth. What's been that for you so far?
I think a couple of things. I think number one, that these games are all going to come down to the very end. I mean, you could be up 2 scores, and the other team, I mean, they're gonna come surging back. It's not like college where you might win a game 48-7. That doesn't happen very often. So, to me, it's all about getting really comfortable in the fourth quarter and finding players who love making plays when the game is on the line. And I think if you do that, then you'll have a chance to win every game. And we're 3-2, but we've had a chance in every game to either win the game or lose the game. And so that to me is one of the biggest differences. And I think the other difference is really just adjusting to having not many people in the stands and communication and all those different things. It's so different. But I think it's something that everyone's having to get used to, and hopefully it's not here for long. But it is something we have to handle right now.
I mean, Coach, you come from the Big 12. I mean, I don't know how many games come down to the last possession there. It's usually 60-59, though. I mean, but I don't know. Did you catch Texas and Oklahoma over the weekend?
Oh, yes, I did. I watched every second of that game go back and forth, back and forth. In fact, I had to get ready for my media call, and I was like watching the game, hoping that it would hurry up and end so that I could do a great job on the media call.
I was in the middle of our NFL Game Day morning meeting Zoom. We were all just like screaming in the middle of it every 2 seconds. But there was still another 2 overtimes to go after our 2-hour meeting. So that's just the way it kind of goes. Do you miss any of that at all?
I mean, I love college football. I love watching it. We were at Baylor. I think last year we won 11 games, and most of them came down to the last couple possessions. So we didn't really have one of those 60 points a game offenses. We were a little bit more, common that way. That we played defense and that. But I liked college football. It was fun to do. But I'm certainly enjoying the pros and just being a college fan on Saturday.
Okay, and then I'm sure you must have watched Thursday night football as well, taking a peek at your next opponent in the Chicago Bears. And what challenge does that represent for you, sir?
Well, I think you start with their defensive line and their defense. I mean, they are fantastic. I've been playing Khalil Mack since he was a player at Buffalo. He's a dominant player. You throw Hicks in there. I mean, they've got great players. And Nick Foles being cool, calm, and collected. I mean, he's just a winner. And so, I think anytime you play against him, you know that it's going to be hard to sorry, it's going to be hard to rattle him. He always finds a way to get it done. So, for us, we're going to have to build up a great plan. And like I said, know that the game will probably come down to the fourth quarter, and we just have to trust our guys to make the plays at the end.
And I guess let me just wrap it up with this then. I mean, Foles is one of the more inspiring stories in the NFL, but you've got, again, your quarterback has an amazing story to tell. And I know I could hear it in your voice. You said it no fewer than 2 or 3 times earlier about Bridgewater, about what a good guy he is and how the guys want to play hard for him. Give me a good story about what you've already seen firsthand, whether it was in a Zoom meeting over the summer or anything from training camp or anything during a game over the first 5 weeks of being exposed to this guy as a professional football quarterback, Coach?
Well, I'd say, my son showed up the first day, to be like an equipment room ball boy intern, and doesn't really know anybody. We moved here, doesn't have any friends in Charlotte yet because of the pandemic. And he shows up the first day. He's walking up. I see him like way up ahead of the hallways, walking in the cafeteria to eat by himself. And I just see Teddy walking by him on the way to a meeting. And, it's literally my son's been there for like 2 hours. He's like, "What's up, Bri?" And kept walking. Like he knew his name already. And like it's simple little things like that. Like you watch him walk in the cafeteria. He talks to everybody. Knows everybody by name. I mean, I think Teddy realizes that one of his missions in life is to bring joy to other people, to make other people the best versions of themselves, and he does that just simply by being a great dude to everybody he meets, and never ever being anything other than Teddy, and that's a special trait.
How old's your son? How old is he?
He's 15.
So here you got a teenager, my gosh, in a pandemic, doing whatever. I'm assuming, when he's involved at school online and things of that nature. And here's the quarterback of Dad's team saying hi to him by name like that in the hallway. That's got to mean a ton, man.
Oh, yeah. My wife, there was like a little local golf camp or a little tennis camp in the neighborhood, and my wife kept trying to get him to go, and he wouldn't go. He wouldn't come be a ball boy, and she couldn't understand it. I said, "Julie, he comes to work and hangs out with Christian McCaffrey."
Yes.
He's not coming to work because he wants to hang out with Dad. I said, he's hanging out with CMC and Teddy B. Like, this is like he's having the time of his life. So there's a great group of guys on this team. If I wanted anyone to know anything, I'd want them to know that.
Coach, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's check in down the line. Congrats on that 3-game win streak. And again, every now and then, I'm going to look at you with that visor. Mike Davis trots out on the field. Just know he needs the football. Okay.
Don't be a vulture. Got it.
That's it. Oh no, he should be a vulture. No, he should be. Is what I'm basically saying.
I got you.
That's it.
Got
okay. Okay, Coach. Please write that down. Thanks for the call. It's Matt Rhule, everybody. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.